RSA encryption. RSA encryption is one of the most important inventions in modern cryptography. It is used everywhere, from online banking and shopping to email encryption and secure messaging. Developed in 1977 by three researchers at MIT, Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir, and Leonard Adelman, the RSA algorithm became the foundation of public key cryptography, which allows people to communicate securely over the internet without needing to share secret keys beforehand. Before RSA, encryption relied mostly on symmetric methods, where both the sender and receiver used the same secret key to encrypt and decrypt messages. The biggest challenge with this approach was sharing the key securely. If a hacker intercepted the key, they could read all future communications. RSA solved this problem through public key cryptography, a system that uses two different keys, asterisk a public key, which can be shared openly, asterisk a private key, which is kept secret by its owner. This means that anyone can encrypt a message using someone's public key, but only the intended recipient, who holds the matching private key, can decrypt it. This concept was revolutionary because it eliminated the need for secret key exchanges. RSA encryption is based on simple but powerful ideas in number theory, particularly involving prime numbers and the difficulty of reversing certain mathematical operations. 1. Key generation. Two large prime numbers are chosen and multiplied together. The product of these two numbers becomes part of the public key. Because multiplying primes is easy, but reversing the process, factoring them, is extremely hard. This product forms the mathematical backbone of RSA security. Another number is derived from these primes to create the private key. 2. Public key and private key. The public key is shared with the world, allowing anyone to encrypt messages for the key's owner. The private key stays with the owner and is used to decrypt incoming messages. 3. Encryption process. When someone wants to send a secure message, they use the recipient's public key to transform the plain text into scrambled data called ciphertext. This ciphertext can safely travel over the internet because only the matching private key can turn it back into readable text. 4. Decryption process. The receiver uses their private key to decrypt the ciphertext and recover the original message. Even though the steps sound simple, the process involves massive numbers, often hundreds or thousands of digits long, making it virtually impossible for attackers to guess or compute the private key from the public one. The security of RSA depends on the difficulty of factoring large numbers. While it's easy to multiply two large prime numbers together, it's incredibly difficult to do the reverse, to figure out which two primes were multiplied to get the final number. For very large numbers, this process could take modern computers millions of years to complete. This is what makes RSA so powerful. Even though the public key is visible to everyone, without the ability to factor large numbers efficiently, no one can figure out the private key that decrypts the message. However, the strength of RSA depends on key size. Early implementations used 512-bit keys, but as computers became faster, those were no longer secure. Today, 2048-bit or 4096-bit keys are standard for strong protection. RSA is not just a theoretical idea, it's embedded in the core of how the internet works. Some of its most common applications include 1. Secure web browsing. HTTPS. When you visit a website that begins with HTTPS, RSA helps establish a secure connection between your browser and the website server. The browser uses the site's public key to encrypt data, ensuring no one can intercept sensitive information such as passwords or credit card details. 2. Digital signatures. RSA can also work in reverse. Instead of encrypting data, it can be used to prove authenticity. A sender can use their private key to sign a message or document. Anyone with the sender's public key can verify that the message truly came from that sender and hasn't been altered. 3. Email and messaging encryption. Many email systems and messaging apps use RSA to protect communications. For example, RSA may encrypt the secret key used for a message, while faster algorithms handle the actual message content. 4. Authentication systems. RSA is used to verify identities in secure logins, software updates, and digital certificates, ensuring that users and systems are who they claim to be. RSA has several key advantages that have helped it remain relevant for over 4 decades. High security. When used with large key sizes, RSA remains one of the most secure encryption methods available. Asterisk public key infrastructure, PKI, compatibility. RSA integrates seamlessly with systems that use digital certificates and certificate authorities to verify identities online. Asterisk proven reliability. The algorithm has stood the test of time and has been analyzed extensively by cryptographers around the world. Asterisk versatility. RSA can be used for both encryption to protect data and authentication to verify identity. Despite its strengths, RSA has some important limitations. Asterisk slow performance. RSA encryption and decryption are mathematically intensive and slower than symmetric algorithms like EES. For this reason, RSA is often used to encrypt a small piece of data, such as a secret key, rather than entire messages. Asterisk key management. Generating and managing large keys securely can be complex, especially for organizations handling millions of users. Asterisk vulnerability to quantum computing. Future quantum computers could theoretically break RSA encryption by factoring large numbers very quickly using specialized algorithms. This is why researchers are already developing post-quantum cryptographic systems to replace RSA when that time comes. Asterisk implementation risks. Poorly implemented RSA systems, for example, those that use weak random number generators or flawed padding schemes, can be vulnerable even if the algorithm itself is strong. RSA has been the gold standard for public key cryptography for nearly half a century. However, the coming age of quantum computing could eventually render it obsolete. Quantum algorithms are expected to be able to solve the factoring problem efficiently, meaning they could break RSA's mathematical foundation. In response, researchers are working on quantum-resistant algorithms that rely on different mathematical problems, such as lattice-based or hash-based cryptography, which are believed to be immune to quantum attacks. Until that future arrives, RSA remains a key part of our digital infrastructure, protecting billions of online transactions, logins, and communications every day. RSA encryption revolutionized digital security by making it possible for people to communicate safely without sharing secret keys. Its clever use of mathematics and prime numbers turned what was once a major problem in cryptography into an elegant and practical solution. Even as technology advances and new encryption methods emerge, RSA's influence endures. It laid the foundation for secure e-commerce, private messaging, and modern cybersecurity, proving that a simple mathematical idea, when applied ingeniously, can change the way the world communicates. It's used everywhere, from online banking to secure messaging. This allows secure internet communication without sharing secret keys beforehand. The challenge was securely sharing this key. Interception meant compromised communications. A public key can be shared openly for anyone to encrypt messages. This revolutionary concept eliminated the need for secret key exchanges. Key generation starts by multiplying two large prime numbers. Another number derived from these primes creates the private key. To send a secure message, the recipient's public key encrypts plain text into ciphertext. The receiver then uses their private key to recover the original message. RSA's security hinges on the difficulty of factoring large numbers. Factoring these numbers could take modern computers millions of years. RSA's strength depends on key size. 2048-bit or 4096-bit keys are standard today. HTTPS connections use RSA to establish secure links between your browser and websites. RSA also enables digital signatures, allowing a sender to sign a message with their private key. Many email and messaging systems use RSA to protect communications. RSA's enduring relevance for over 4 decades stems from key advantages. Its proven reliability and versatility for encryption and authentication are significant benefits. It's slower than symmetric algorithms due to mathematical intensity, often used for smaller data. Quantum computing poses a future vulnerability, potentially breaking RSA by rapidly factoring large numbers. Poor implementations, like weak random number generators, also pose risks. However, quantum computing could eventually render it obsolete. Until then, RSA remains a cornerstone of our digital infrastructure, protecting billions of online transactions daily. Its clever use of mathematics transformed a major cryptographic problem into an elegant, practical solution.